Do you know what connects Robotnik's family, Sonic, the army, and an alien invasion of Earth?
I don't think you do.
Well, all of that may appear in the new movie of the Blue Hedgehog, and some of these things have already been confirmed. The third Sonic movie will be full of surprises, and one of the most controversial ones even involves the resurrection of the ultimate villain, Robotnik. And not only that, there's a great chance that even worse villains will emerge, coming directly from another world, possibly leading to an alien invasion on Earth. We've discovered all of this and much more, and we're here to tell you everything right now. Shadow. There's a new hedgehog in town, folks. One of the things that has become noteworthy in the Sonic movies is the introduction of exciting new characters with each film. In the second movie, we had Tails and Knuckles making appearances, which was really cool. And now we know who's next to show up. It's Shadow, that black hedgehog who appeared in the post-credit scenes of Sonic 2. Those who have played Sonic games know that he despises Sonic, and Sonic keeps teasing Shadow all the time. This also happens in the TV series and comics of the Blue Hedgehog. The writers have revealed that the game Shadow the Hedgehog, released on PlayStation 2 in 2005, is serving as the basis for the plot of Sonic 3. In the game, Shadow is a black hedgehog created by Gerald Robotnik, Robotnik's grandfather, 50 years before Sonic's story, as part of a project to create the perfect being. That's exactly why Shadow considers himself the perfect life form. Not at all arrogant, right? Patrick Casey, one of the film's writers, shared some cool things about Sonic's rival. He said, Shadow is on par with Sonic, but with a different personality since he is driven by anger and revenge. Patrick also mentioned that unlike Knuckles, Shadow won't become friends with Sonic, as the Dark Hedgehog is emotionally damaged due to his creation in a laboratory and other things that we'll tell you very soon. Another cool thing we discovered about Shadow is that there's a very high possibility of the character being voiced by one of the recent cinema's greatest heroes. None other than Jason Momoa, the Aquaman himself, is reportedly in negotiations to lend his voice to the Dark Hedgehog in the new Sonic movie. That would undoubtedly make the character even more badass. Games as the basis for the movie. The story we told about Shadow being in Sonic 3 is told in games from the Blue Hedgehog franchise. Paramount has already leaked that 2 games are serving as the foundation for the movie's script. Shadow the Hedgehog from 2005, where the Black Hedgehog is the main character, and also Sonic Adventure 2, released in 2001, which tells a story from the past. In the game, we have the story of Project Shadow, led by Robotnik's grandfather named Gerald. In the game, we see the introduction of the character Shadow, the Black Hedgehog, who was developed to be the perfect creation. After 50 years, Shadow is set free, and they mistake Sonic for him, and the story unfolds from there. In Shadow the Hedgehog, the story revolves around Shadow as the main character, not Sonic. The Black Hedgehog is uncertain whether he is the original Shadow or a copy created by Robotnik. After the alien invasion by the Black Arms, Shadow joins forces with Sonic and Gun to protect the Earth. Well, that's just one of the possible endings of the game. We don't know which aspects of these games will be in the movie, but they are certainly the main inspiration for the script. In fact, there's a lingering question. Will the Black Arms appear in Sonic 3? Now let's talk about the female characters in the upcoming Sonic movie. So if you're a fan of the Blue Hedgehog, comment below with #SuperSonic. Rouge. As we mentioned, the 2 games serving as the foundation for the movie, Sonic Adventure 2 and Shadow the Hedgehog, have some things in common, and one of them is an extremely memorable character from the Sonic franchise who appears in both games. We're talking about Rouge, a white bat thief who is always trying to steal the Master Emerald from Knuckles. This constant rivalry with Knuckles, who is the guardian of the Emerald, makes her his enemy. But she does this because she considers herself the best treasure hunter in the world and is always after jewels, like the Master Emerald. In the games, she works as a spy for the government, which may indicate a possible connection with Gun and perhaps with Shadow later on. So there's about a 90% chance that this little bat will appear in the movie of the fastest hedgehog in the universe, especially if there's going to be an alien invasion. Amy Rose. In addition to Rouge, another character that is practically confirmed in the movie is Amy Rose, the pink hedgehog who is in love with Sonic. The writers themselves, who have leaked some information, responded when asked about Amy's presence in Sonic 3, that things are in progress. In other words, they didn't deny it. This is a strong indication that the character will likely appear in the 2024 film because it's about time for a female heroine in Sonic, isn't it? Furthermore, Amy, like Rouge, also appears in the 2 games that are serving as the basis for the Sonic 3 script. What we don't know is whether she will be more calm and conciliatory or if she will be a warrior version. Jim Carrey. Jim Carrey is one of the greatest comedians and comedic actors of all time. After taking a break from movies for a while, he came back exclusively to play the role of Robotnik. The problem is that he announced his retirement after Sonic 2 in April 2022. Robotnik, despite being the villain, was certainly one of the best characters in both movies of the Earth's protector Hedgehog. After Jim announced his retirement, some podcasts and websites claimed that he had already filmed scenes and appearances for the release of Sonic 3, which is practically impossible to confirm, but it's possible. Let's remember that at the end of the second film, Robotnik falls right in the middle of that huge explosion from his mega giant robot. But there's something that gives hope to Jim Carrey and Sonic fans, which is an interview where he himself said he would only return for Sonic 3 if Paramount made a golden script. It seems like that's being done because after the Super Mario Bros. Movie, all game-based films are being treated like true gems and gold mines. But there was also something that got people excited. Was when Lee Majdoub, the actor who played Agent Stone, shared a really cool image on his Twitter where he was carrying Robotnik in his arms. He even commented above that this would be so funny if it happened in Sonic 3. In other words, let's wait, but I smell a surprise coming.
Shut up and take my money!
New villain! Now that we know that Robotnik won't be the main villain in this new movie, the question everyone wants to know is, who will truly be the villain or villains of the film? Because Shadow, as much as he doesn't like Sonic, is not a villain. In fact, he's more of a rival to the Blue Hedgehog, and we went in search of this information. We discovered many rumors stating that in the end of the new film, even though Shadow and Sonic aren't friends, they will join forces to fight an even more complicated villain, just like what happens in the game Shadow the Hedgehog after the alien invasion on Earth. But it may not be the Black Arms that they will be fighting together against. So, options like Metal Sonic, Chaos, or BioLizard came up, but this information is being kept very carefully by the film's production, at least for now. But which villain do you think would fit best in Sonic 3? Comment below! Even if you prefer Robotnik to return. Who knows, maybe that's what happens, right? It would be a historic plot twist. Gun! Since we talked about Metal Sonic, we have to mention Gun, the Guardian Unit of Nations. It had a role in the first two films, but everything indicates that its involvement will be even greater in the third Sonic film. If Metal Sonic appears, there's a strong possibility that he will be controlled by Gun, which may feel that it can't control Sonic. But we'll have to wait and see. In the storyline of Sonic Adventure 2, one of the games serving as the basis for the third film script, Gun was sent to stop Project Shadow, led by Robotnik's grandfather, 50 years ago. The United Federation was very afraid that creating a perfect life form could endanger humanity. That's when Robotnik's grandfather was imprisoned and later executed, and Shadow was frozen, which explains the post-credit scene at the end of Sonic 2, showing Shadow in a kind of cryogenic chamber. Another interesting piece of information is that the comics show a connection between Commander Walters of Gun and Shadow, which must be related to Maria, another character who may also appear in the film. Maria Robotnik is a character with strong chances of appearing in Sonic 3 as well. She is the cousin of the villain Robotnik and the granddaughter of Dr. Gerald, the creator of Shadow. Throughout her grandfather's project, she develops a very strong friendship with the Black Hedgehog, as if they were siblings. Unfortunately, during Gun's operation to put an end to Project Shadow, she ends up getting shot and dies. That's right, if you didn't know, the Sonic story has a somewhat dark side. This certainly affects Shadow psychologically, making him vulnerable to evil influences. And everything indicates that Ancient Stone will be one of those responsible for influencing Shadow, making him believe in some way that Sonic is to blame for everything. But there's no doubt that Maria is the person Shadow has the deepest affection for, so her presence in the film is practically certain. We can guarantee that. Guys, that's all we know so far about Sonic 3, which will be released in December 2024, just in time for Christmas. Comment below if you prefer the games, the cartoons, or the Sonic movies. We want to know. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss the next videos. Until next time, bye-bye.